Hello everyone, my name is Deckerlink, the Trained Unprofessional, and welcome back to Angels with Scaly Wings. Fuck this, fuck that, fuck all of y'all. I'm kidding. Alright, so we're at the same place as the fucking murder scene, so that's a little bit funkalicious. This should be the right address. So much knocking. I'm coming! I bet you are. Oh, it's you! I was expecting someone else. You're a little early. I didn't know how long it would take me to get here, but earlier than late, right? Who's this? Who are you? Who the fuck? Who are you? What secrets do you hold? And where'd that be? This is Amy. Emily. He's one of the kids I work with. Aw. Hello, Emily. Say hi, Emily. Hello. Aw. I just have to bring her back to the orphanage real quick. Feel free to make yourself at home in the meantime, okay? Sure. You met Emily! That's cool. Oh, this looks like a pretty normal-ass fucking apartment. So this is where you live, Adine. Small but cozy. I'm back! That was quick. Being able to fly does have its perks, you know. Wait, you flew her back? Well, I am a delivery flyer. She didn't get scared or anything? Not at all. She's such a brave little girl. So what exactly is it that you do at the orphanage? I'm a volunteer. I help out with whatever they need, and sometimes take care of the kids. They only have so many social workers. The ratio is about one social worker for every 10 children. So it's good that the kids get to spend some one-on-one time with someone they know. I guess you could almost call it babysitting, but for the kids, we basically become foster parents. The older they get, the less likely they are to be adopted. So she might be too old to be considered soon. What a shame. I can see why I'd adopt her if I could. I'm not sure. What a I guess just sympathy. What a shame. Yeah, I know. I'm worried about what will happen to her if she doesn't find a family. We'll take care of her, of course, but it's not quite the same as having parents. I'd adopt her myself, but I don't think I could care for her properly. Not as a single parent with my packed work schedule. I still volunteer as often as I can, but because if I don't, who will? Someone needs to be there for those kids. You're wasting your time? Well, that's not nice. It's very nice of you. Someone else would probably volunteer even if you didn't. That's very nice of you. Thanks, but for me it's not about being nice. I almost feel obligated to help, you know? Anyway, let's talk about something less depressing. Like what? Let me think. Oh, I just remembered someone died here recently. Here in your apartment? No, not here, silly. It was close, though. Barely a block from here. Right. The murder of the maintenance guy. I remember that. Wait, it was a murder? I didn't know that. I thought it was an accident or something. That's terrible. Sorry for mentioning it. Finding the first victim was already bad enough for me, but now I have to hear there was another murder in town? I wish I could get some good news for once. Well, at least it wasn't you. That's a strange way of looking at it, but you do have a point. That reminds me, I've got something I wanted to try on you. Try on me? It's nothing too dramatic. I read this magazine the other day and found it a few interesting articles. Using her partial hand, she held up a magazine that showed me the cover, where the bold-looking female was presented on the front, adorned with trinkets like rings and jewels. Various headlines gave me the idea of the content within. It reminded me a lot of the typical gossip magazines back home. Lifestyle, the magazine for modern people? This issue even came out with a set of fortune cards. I'm not sure what to expect. I'm not sure what to expect. Those types are usually trash. That's probably not a nice thing to say. I'm sure they're qualified to determine my fate. I'll just say I'm not sure what to expect. Isn't that the whole fun of it? Well, what should we look at first? Jesus, you decide. Don't be so crass. Alright, let's see. Here, this article talks about dreams and what they mean. Have you had any strange or recurring dreams lately? My dreams are usually nonsense. I've been dreaming of fire. I don't dream at all. My dreams have often been about people I know. Well, I don't know what fucking my dude in the game has been dreaming about. I don't even remember the... Fun fact, if you think you don't dream, unless you have like some severe brain damage, like you're missing chunks of your brain. You do dream, you just don't remember it. The experience of dreaming does happen to you, you just don't recall it. But you do dream, motherfucker. So I don't even remember the dream I had last night. But dreaming of fire seems a little obvious. Dreams are usually nonsense. That's, I don't know. Don't dream at all is dismissive, so let's just go with the people I know. That could be for a variety of reasons. One theory is that the dreams are a way of the brain, for the brain to process day-to-day experiences, so it's not unusual to dream of people you've met. But a recurring dream involving the same people is a different story, and that could represent strong emotions for or unresolved reasons with that person. What about your dreams? It kind of feels like they're different every night. Most of them are nonsense, but sometimes I dream of people I used to know. What do you make of all this? Bunch of baloney. Stop giving me opportunities to be an asshole. I don't know. Even the article concludes that scientists haven't exactly figured out why we dream. It's a big mystery. Alright, let's move on. Oh, I thought you meant moving on from the magazine. Don't be such a sourpuss. There's some interesting stuff in here. God. Stop giving me reasons to be an asshole. The dream stuff wasn't that so bad. See, I told you this was going to be fun. What's next? A personality test. Didn't you always want to know what kind of relationships would suit you? I already know what I want in a relationship. I'd like to see a close relationship between this magazine and the trash can. Stop! Sure, why not? God damn. Stop! Fuck! Let's find out. Okay, first question. In a relationship, what role do you take? For the take the reins, so it's I'm the leader, they're the leader, or switch it up. I think if one person maintains power for too long, they'll go fucking mad, so switch it up. Variety is the spice of life, right? Moving on to the next question. Wait, aren't you gonna answer the questions too? I'll take the test after you. I don't want to keep track of both our scores at once. Alright, question number 2. What's your favorite dessert? Chocolate cream cake, lemon ice cream, coconut souffle, red hot chili cookies. What does the question have to do with relationships? Out of all those options, it'd be chocolate cream cake. All-time classic. Who doesn't like chocolate cake? Here's the next question. What's your dream job? Farmer, businessperson, stay-at-home parent. Well, my dream job's a voice actor, which, if I had a stay-at-home studio, it'd be a stay-at-home parent, so stay-at-home parent. I'm with you on that one, but does that really qualify as a job? Are you questioning the almighty magazine? Forget I said anything. How many more questions are there? That's all of them. Now to look at the results. Oh, it says here that your results are outlined in the weight loss booklet that came with the magazine, but I already threw that away. Why'd you do that? You clearly needed it. Oh, that's so mean. What a shame. I guess we'll never find out what kind of relationship would suit me. I guess we'll go with the last one because, goddamn. Yeah, how else would you know? There's no other way. I'll be at a loss for the rest of my life. But now we get to the best part, the fortune cards. Do we really have to do that? Stuff's not real. That's what I was looking forward to. God, there's so many excuses and opportunities to be an asshole. Why are you being such an asshole, game? Just trying to have some goddamn fun, and this fucking... Oh my god, I'm so sick of you, you fucking piece of shit. God damn. Okay. Fucking there. Me too. How's that supposed to work anyway? I mean, they're just cards. How could they predict the future? Apparently, there are different schools of thought regarding the use of fortune-telling cards. The cards themselves don't know anything. They're just a tool. So the information actually comes from somewhere else. But where, though? Well, one interpretation is that it's our subconscious who gives us the answers we seek. Similar to how dreams can be interpreted, the interpretation of the cards is very dependent on the person itself and the symbols they recognize in the card's images. We recognize images that are relevant to our lives, and that gives us an idea about ourselves and current problems. However, that is just the most grounded interpretation out there. People usually associate something more paranormal with fortune cards. One of those explanations is that the cards are a way to communicate with a higher being, a paranormal entity that knows more than we do and can give us subtle nudges using the cards. And who would that be? The explanations range from ghosts to angelic beings. One even involved humans. Really? Yeah, people would say that you could communicate with humans this way. And then there was also something they called higher self. Higher self? How come you know so much about this? Because I read an article about it? No. Okay, what should I draw for you? Why don't I get to be the one who's reading the fortune? Because I paid for the magazine, so the cards are mine. Okay. So what are my options? Well, I could read your past, present, or future. What is it going to be? I'm looking forward to the future. The prediction of the future is what most people associate with these readings. However, their purpose is to prepare a person in question for a possible future, rather than just predicting it. Oh my. What is it? The card we've drawn is associated with drastic measures, particularly those with a final conclusion. This can be interpreted in many ways, but it can refer to death, the ultimate conclusion. It can also mean many, many other things, like a violent outcome of a brewing conflict or a positive resolution of a long-running conflict. What do you think? I think I know what it refers to. I wonder if I should be worried. This is very generic. I think I know what it refers to. Really? How can you already know about the future? Let's just say I have a hunch. It mentions resolutions to conflicts that have been brewing, and there's definitely stuff brewing. I guess that's everything the magazine has to offer. Well, that certainly was interesting. God! Stop being an asshole, game! Guess that means you had fun then? Sure, let's call it that. So, do you have anything interesting going on at the moment? I can't imagine what an ambassador life is like. It's been busy. I thought the whole thing would go by quickly without any mishaps, but it seems like there's always something happening. Oh, really? I figured I'd come here, do the exchange, and leave again, but apparently it's not that easy. It never is. You speak like you've had an experience as an ambassador. Well, no, but doing deliveries is similar. People order something, I fly to them, we exchange the product for payment, then I go back. It's basically the same thing. Yeah, sure. But things always go wrong. For example, imagine that you have 2 deliveries to make, and the first one goes smoothly, okay? I'm imagining it very hard right now. Alright, so you get to the destination of the second delivery, and they actually check what you're handing them. It turns out you mixed up the orders, but you already delivered the first one. It's certainly not a pleasant situation to be in. Now you have to go back to the first family you delivered to, who by now have probably noticed that they got the wrong delivery, and exchange what you gave them for what they actually ordered. Right. But it turns out they didn't mind the mix-up, and as a matter of fact, they have already started eating it with what they got instead. It's not so bad when they aren't angry, but now you can't exchange the orders anymore, so you have to fly back to the restaurant and get a second order made. Happens all the time. As a result, the people waiting for the second order do get angry because their order has to be remade and delivered all over again. And the plot thickens. They complain, and of course their meal gets comped. The restaurant can no longer sell that first order that you still have, so the orders for both families are deducted from your paycheck, and you end up eating nothing but ramen all week again, just so you can make rent this month. That is unfortunate. That's why you always double-check your orders, because even a small mistake can have consequences reaching further than you'd think. Sometimes we have to learn the hard way. I guess so. Anyway, what have you been up to lately? Do you remember that stunt flying competition I told you about? Of course, I assume your participation is a given by now. Actually, I'm not so sure about that. I mailed my application earlier today, so hopefully it'll arrive before the deadline. Or maybe I should just fly it over myself, while showing off a few moves, that is. You should fly over anyway, and make sure you get in. It'd be a shame if you couldn't enter because of a technicality. Yeah, I really should drop by. By the way, could you do me a favor? That depends on the favor, I suppose. It's kind of a long story, but there's something I need. You know some people at the police station, right? Yeah? I think they're in possession of a map related to an underground building they found. I've heard about that. Oh, that's great. Maybe you can get them to hand it over? It doesn't even have to be the real thing. A copy would do just fine. What do you even need it for? Let's just say I'm interested in doing a little investigation of the place myself. What's so special about it? It's supposed to be a remnant of an earlier civilization, or maybe even something created by humans. Who wouldn't be interested in that? Wait, an actual human is in front of you? Wait, an actual human in front of you isn't enough? I can think of a few people. I'd pay a visit myself if I could. See? I think if you put your word in, we could easily make it happen. So, how do I even ask for something like that? You could always say that humanity is interested in it. Honestly, they probably would be. Could you ask them for me, please? I can try. Sure. I won't promise anything, but I can certainly try. Thank you. That means a lot to me. I didn't know you were into archaeology. I wouldn't care as much if it turned out to be just some old building. The whole thing about it being made by humans is what's really interesting. Why is that? Well, the myths wouldn't be very mythical anymore if that was the case. We'd have proof. And that's so shortly after finding out that humans are in fact real. Yes, what a time to be alive. So you believe in all that stuff. Belief isn't the right word when you're standing right in front of me, you know. That alone is a miracle. I get excited all over again just thinking about it. Well, speaking of which, all this excitement made me lose track of the time. Is it that late already? Oh, actually, I have places to be, especially if I want to make sure my contest application arrives on time. Guess I should be going then, huh? For now, at least. I certainly wouldn't mind if you stopped by again sometime. Will there be any magazines involved? Actually, that magazine doesn't come out that often, so we wouldn't have anything new from them. I could get a different one if you wanted to, though. Don't bother. If you say so. Anyway, I really have to go, so I'll see you around. Cool. Nothing's going on today. Guess I can do whatever. Well, let's see. We can check on Bryce again, see how he's doing. What's up, buddy? Hey, Pierce, good to see you. Okay, I've been trying to figure something out, but for some reason, it's only letting me click on your face. I'm trying to say thanks for the invitation. You see my reticule over the thanks for the invitation, and then it says, what's wrong with my face? I don't know why it's doing that, but, what's wrong with my face? Never mind, I thought something was off, but that's just how we always look. Just come inside. Wait, something seems to be different here. What do you mean? Oh, that's it. We're both sober. I thought we weren't going to mention that. Right. Don't mind the chaos, it was just a temporary arrangement. Led me inside and motioned to the couch. When I took a seat and looked around, I realized that his apartment was obviously designed with only a single person in mind. Some days all you can do is be glad they're over. Long day at work? You know how it is at the police department, especially with everything going on. Is it a bad time for me to visit? Hey, things are pretty overwhelming for me too. Being an emissary is no joke. How many dead have you found so far? Let's just try to be considerate with the top one. Heck no, I could use some good company right now. So what do you usually do for fun in your world? Read, meet with friends, spend time outside, work out. Meet with friends, I guess. Right with you on that one. How about you? Different things. A little bit of this, a little bit of that, you know how it is. It's not very specific. Alright, I'll show you something. But promise me you won't laugh, okay? Sure. Good. He went to a shelf on the far side of the room and picked up a long object. Carrying it in his maw, and he returned to the table before me and gently sat it down. It's a wooden model ship. From first appearances, I guessed it was a child's first attempt at assembling a model. While the shape was recognizable, there were odd pieces jutting out or not fitting together properly. In some places, gobs of dried glue remained from excessive use. Who's Parkinson's afflicted gent? Jesus! Looks nice. You don't need to lie to me. I know fully well what it looks like. But that's not the point. Even though I try, I don't always make the best decisions. I know I'm not the most patient person. But in my line of work, you never know what they're gonna throw at you next. So you always have to be prepared. You can't have any exploitable weaknesses. And of course, I want to be fit for duty. As the chief, people look up to me, so I have to be at my best at all times. We can both tell the model's not very good. I don't really have the patience or the dexterity for it. But I tried my hand at this to get better. Sure, it took me way longer than it should have, and my claws were covered in glue for a week afterwards. But you know, these models aren't even intended for us. They're made for runners like Sebastian, who have proper hands to do that stuff. I know the ship isn't much, but it's something. Or maybe, if I keep trying, it'll get better. Wait a minute, you have ships? Not in this town, but yeah, we have ships alright. Why does that surprise you? I just find it interesting, because where I come from, we also have vehicles for land and air travel. Well, some of us can fly, and some of us can run well, but none of us can swim beyond the seas. Do you even have different continents? Not that I know of. You'd probably have to ask someone who knows more about our world than I do. How can you not know about something like that? Well, we do get the occasional explorer who ventures out into uncharted seas, but I don't really keep track of that sort of thing. Would you ever want to visit? Would you want to visit if they ever found one? I can't say that I don't find the thought exciting, but in the end, I've got my people here, and they need their chief. Maybe you could take a vacation and see what's out there. If I ever have time for that, maybe. Can you swim? Not particularly well. You may have noticed that I'm not exactly streamlined. Don't worry, fat floats on water? Jesus! You're the pinnacle of masculinity? Not quite. What the hell? Let's flatter him a little bit. Glad you think so. These muscles are the result of years of hard work. Alright, put your hand on my forearm. Don't you technically have 4 legs? I guess, but it's easier to say forearm when specifying the upper part of my foreleg. Besides, using the word leg might get it misinterpreted. That might make you think of my thigh, but that would be something else entirely. Not that I'd mind grabbing your thigh. We're going out on a limb today. Let's just do it. Is that so? Oh shit. Let's just keep it on the arm for now. Place my hand in the upper part of his foreleg, somewhat surprised at the warmth radiating from his scales. I hope you're ready, because here I go. His forearm shifted and the shape of his muscles changed as they become more defined. In a moment they were firm and bulging, his scales flaring under the stress and looking as though they might pop off at any moment. It reminded me of a flexing bodybuilder in a skin-tight lycra suit. After a few seconds, his muscles relaxed and regained their former shape. See, that's what I'm talking about. Color me impressed? Flex your own puny muscles? What a waste of time. Color me impressed! Fuck, don't be a dick! Didn't expect that, huh? It's too bad all those muscles couldn't help you when Reza got away and got stuck up on those stairs. Why would you bring that up? Why would you do that? Hey, that wasn't my fault, it was the damn stairs! Speaking of which, this whole case has been completely insane. Us always a step behind Reza and Maverick running around trying to catch him himself. I wonder what he's been up to. Maverick? Yeah. We had an interesting conversation not too long ago. What? When exactly was that? When I went into town to check on your list of places Reza had been to. How come you didn't say anything about it before? I didn't think it was anything worth mentioning. It was a pretty one-sided conversation anyway. Alright, maybe you should start from the beginning. I don't want to say he's crazy, but I have no idea what he's talking about. Me either. You know, next time you should let the police decide whether something like that is worth mentioning or not. Why did you not tell us about this again? I thought it was just Maverick being Maverick. He's not normally like that. I don't get it. Why has he been acting like that? Do you think he's onto something? I don't know, but There must be a reason behind his behavior. Maybe he's just crazy, maybe it's just a misunderstanding, maybe he's right. I mean, maybe he's right about fucking Reza. We don't know. Or maybe it is just a misunderstanding. It could be. I don't know. I don't know why or how, but maybe. Even if it started that way, it's now turned into something dire. We need to find Reza as soon as possible. I'm just thinking out loud, but Reza was the first of your kind to come here. He arranged for the generator and the PDA trade, and then you came through the portal to deliver your part of the deal. Did your people have any goals long-term plans for us, or was this exchange going to be a one-off thing? It was supposed to be a scouting mission more than anything. A test to see if this kind of business relationship could work out. And if it did, it would make humanity very happy. Things aren't looking good on that front right now, though. But yeah, that's another reason why we're helping you. However this whole thing turns out, no matter what happens, I've got your back, okay? Likewise. Now that's the spirit. Hey, I'm gonna grab myself a beer. You want one? Sure. Alright. Bryce got up and left through one of the doors to fetch his beer, leaving me alone in the room. I guess stretch your legs, examine the blanket. There's not much to examine on the blanket. It looks like he just sleeps on the couch. Stretch your legs. Not wanting to just sit around and wait, I did some ample stretching exercises to pass the time. You stretch your legs! Bryce lumbered back through the door, the handle of a beer-filled basket clamped in his maw. He carefully set the basket on the coffee table and took out the beers one by one. Once he was done, he swatted the empty basket into a far corner. Help yourself if you like. Bryce's store-bought beer looked very different from what I seen at the bar. They were presented in large plastic bowls that were sealed at the top, reminding me of yogurt containers. He broke the seal on one of the containers with his claw and proceeded to drink it noisily. Sweet, sweet nectar always does its job. Can I ask you something? Go for it. Please don't take this the wrong way, but I watched how you carried the beer. I was gonna ask how you do daily tasks like shopping, for example, but I guess those baskets are your best friends. That's just how we do things around here. Not sure why that's so special to you. It makes me wonder. I know how you use your forelegs well enough for things, but what about your hind legs? Can you walk on those? Good question. If you're going to talk about my species, if you're just talking about my species, some of us can. At least a little. But me, I probably wouldn't be able to take more than two steps that way. Interesting. Maybe that's something I should practice as well. It'd be a good disguise and exercise and discipline. Regardless, I wouldn't be part of any competition anytime soon. You have competitions? Oh yeah, each species gets their own athletic competition with a few events every other year. That sounds like fun. Ever thought of joining in? It is not really my kind of thing. I mean, it's always just about who's the best and the strongest and who has the biggest muscles and all that. I'm not really into that whole competitive lifestyle. And some of those events can be a bit dangerous. One accident, it could be over for me as chief. That sounds rough. What kind of competitions do you have? They usually highlight the individual species' strengths and abilities. We get to do strength-based stuff, the flyers get to fly, and the runners get to run, and so on. Speaking of which, it's kind of funny how upright you are when you move. The runners lean forward and use their big tails for balance, whereas you have yours tucked into whatever it is that you're wearing. Actually, we don't have tails. You kidding me? Not at all. Seriously, everything alive has a tail. How can you just not have one? It's just the way we are. But tails are wonderful, just look at mine. That's a pretty wicked weapon right there. And you just have nothing? Can't help it. You know what? I don't believe you. I'm not sure exactly how I can make this any more clear. Show me. Okay. Alright, here goes nothing. I can't believe it. You really don't have a tail. Told you so. Why do you cover it all up, anyway? It's a human thing. We don't usually show our bodies to strangers. So friends are fine? well, that would be an unusual friendship. Let's just say displaying that area would usually imply more. Is that so? Okay, so we've got the tails covered, but what about wings? I don't think we can call those little things on my back wings. Well, what are they then? Anticulated pieces of armor, I guess. Articulated, I should say. Anticulated? What the fuck is that? Can you flap them? I could try. Bryce got on all fours, grounding his body in preparation for what was to come. His face contorted into a grimace as his upper body strained. He held the pose for a few seconds, but nothing happened except for his continuous groan and effort. And suddenly his wings started to move, slowly at first, then they swayed up and down. They gradually picked up speed and moved with a rhythm that could be rightfully called flapping. It reminded me of the pigeons I often saw back home. After holding it a few seconds, he breathed a sigh of relief as he relaxed and his flapping motion stopped again. A single bead of sweat rolled down the side of his face and he looked at me, panting. That was awesome! Yeah, that was certainly a first. Too bad they don't have any flapping competitions for my species. That was exhausting. Just the right time for a beer. Go right ahead. Do whatever, man. I sat back and watched Bryce took the last beer, opened it, and took his first sip with a slurp. So I've been wondering, what does it take for someone to become humanity's ambassador? I'm still not quite sure how I ended up here. I guess in my case it was a combination of the right degrees, volunteering, and a great deal of luck. Well, what kind of job did you have before that? Were you like a politician or a diplomat or what? Actually, I was none of those things. Raisin maybe, but certainly not me. I guess it's not like you needed ambassadors to represent humanity before, right? It makes this whole process a first. Unless you had aliens show up at your place before. It's funny that you say that, because for a while there was actually speculation that you were aliens. Well, it's not like we fly around in spaceships or anything. Strictly speaking, the word alien refers to any form of life that doesn't originate from our own planet. So that makes us aliens to each other, huh? Well, I'm not so sure if that's a good descriptor for your kind. Oh, why not? Let's just say where I come from, the word often carries negative connotations with it. Well, that's no good. What does that make us, then? I don't know. Maybe we'll make up a new word for sentient, civilized dragons. What do you think about us humans, anyway? I know many others have had their own ideas of what humans are or what they're supposed to be. I'm not buying into all that, so I'll just take it as is. And how is it? Well, you've been interesting enough so far, and Reza, I'm reserving judgment on that one. It's so funny to see people talking about humans all the time and what your presence could mean, while I'm one of the few who actually gotten to meet you and knows what you're like. And people still don't know about Reza. That'll certainly be interesting. What do you think will happen once the truth about him gets out? I'll start worrying about that once we know what the truth actually is. Good point. You work with the police long enough, you learn to not have any preconceived notions about such things. Take things as they are and do what's necessary. I imagine you've seen many things as chief. I certainly have. They're usually not the kind of thing I should tell people about, though. Why not? Not sure how it's done where you're from, but here people usually don't like me telling them about the horrible things I see at work. I see. Man, look at the time. We spent all afternoon talking. I guess I should be heading back to my apartment. Yeah, it's getting pretty late, and I still have to prepare some stuff for tomorrow. Can you find your way out? Yeah. See you soon, then. See you. Alright, pleasant conversations. The fuck? Oh. I didn't know what that was. Superstition. Oh, now we got a dragon near the gate. Oh, goodness. And we're back at the place. Yay. The morning sun declared that this will happen on the next episode. Boop. Thank you all very much for watching this episode of Angels with Scaly Wings. On the next one, we will continue and see what Chapter 3 has to offer us. I don't know how many chapters there are in this game, but I'm enjoying it so far. How are you enjoying it? Let me know in the comments below. And do all the things. There's links in the description and stuff. I'm not good at promos. But anyway, thank you all very much for watching. And until next time, ladies and gentlemen, I've been the trained unprofessional speaking for the voices in my head when I say until next time. Fare thee well. Bye, everyone!